Any other use of this telecast.
This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
All right, and good evening and welcome to another edition of the Middale Sports Report. My name's Jordan Ray. Great to be with you here as we look forward to talking about some more spring sports going on in Middale. We are here at Buffalo Wild Wings and in Del City. Please make Buffalo Wild Wings your place to go watch March Madness this upcoming weekend with a Final Four in both women's basketball Friday and Sunday, men's basketball Saturday and Monday night. This is the place to be for all that, as well as the stretch run of the NBA regular season ending. We'll have the Thunder game on here in a bit as they host or play at the Boston Celtics. And, of course, baseball starting. We'll have a lot of Major League Baseball on here. So, in other sports as well, this is your place to be, Buffalo Wild Wings here in Del City. And we want to thank them for also hosting fundraisers for all of the Middale spring sports, as those fundraisers have started as of Monday of this week, and we'll talk about a couple here later tonight. We also want to thank Tooney Buys Houses. Tooney Buys Houses, they buy homes in any condition. If you or someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, please call us today for a cash offer at 405-931-3046. We really want to thank Channing Chamberlain for being another sponsor for the Middale Sports Report. It helps us do even more than what we're doing right now, and we love it. Okay, so we're going to start things off talking Del City track with boys coach Joby Hooper.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Coach, thank you so much for being on with me here. First, let's talk about how you got to Del City. You mentioned off the air you're a Del City graduate.
Yes, sir. I am a graduate of 1984, so I'm very old.
But then you had to obviously make it a journey to come back here. So, and of course, not only that, but to be able to coach two sports, because you also coach football.
Yes, sir.
So how were you able to what was the journey like getting back here, if you could?
Actually, Coach Dunn, Coach Mike Dunn,
Mm-hmm.
I actually played for his dad, and I came home for a wedding, happened to go to a funeral, and at that funeral, Coach Dunn's dad was there, and so he asked me if I would be interested in helping Coach Mike Dunn out at Del City, and I was like, of course. So he got me on the phone with Mike, and Mike and me started talking, and I actually was just asking to come and talk to the team, kind of motivate them like before a game or something like that.
Yeah.
And Mike was like, yeah, I want you to do that, but I want you to do that every week. So
wow, you got more than you bargained for.
Yeah.
And then, so Coach Dunn brought you on to be an assistant football coach.
Yes, sir.
How did track get into the equation?
Track was always part of the equation.
Okay.
Coach Jones was the head coach of track at that time, and I'm just an avid track fan. So when they brought me on, they was like, I could do football and track, so that's what happened.
Okay, so then Coach Jones, he became the head coach 3 years ago, and was that when you elevated up to the
yes,
head
sir.
boys coach?
When he became the AD, he always told me that if he got the AD job, he would make me the head track coach for the boys. So when he got it, he asked me if I actually wanted it. I told him yes, and he moved me up. Very
good. Now, I've talked with Coach Jones a few times over the years, and it seems like track always comes back into the equation. When it comes to talking about a lot of his skill players especially, a lot of them are track stars, and we'll get to a couple of those here in a moment. But you could tell he's very proud of the track program at Del City. If you could talk about that, how how it's been a strong program over the years, and we'll get to this year in a bit.
Well, when I came on, they had just come off of being runner-up in 2016, excuse me, and in 2017 we got third, and then in 2019 we actually won it. And that was our first actual state championship overall. Now, we've always had individual state champions at Dale City, but that was the first time we've actually won a state championship at Dale City for the boys. And so one of the things we want to do is we want to build upon that. We want to keep that momentum going and always be in the contention. And one of the things that Coach Jones has put into effect is if you are a skilled football player, if you're a skilled position on the football team, you're running track. Mm-hmm. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We both believe that it goes hand in hand. If you want to have success on the football field, then you need to run track, because track speed translates to football. And what kids don't understand is that sustainable speed happens when you run track.
Yeah.
So those kids like the Ladanians and the Braylon Adamas, they can run the same speed in the fourth quarter as they are in the first quarter because they have track speed, and they compete that way. And when you compete that way, it opens up certain things for you.
Yeah, so, and I imagine a lot of those athletes, they may not play a winter sport, some maybe do, but then for those that don't, they're starting to run in January, I'm assuming, when they can.
We start January 3rd, as soon as we get back from Christmas break.
And what's the practice like in the preseason then? Is it a lot of volume compared to during the season?
We build. Like we'll start with a little mileage, getting a base under you, and then we build from that. We don't try to kill them, at the beginning.
Right.
We want to build them up so that by May they're hitting their peak.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously what I've learned is, because I don't know a whole lot about track, but a couple things is that the athlete gets about only 4 events tops. And so
they're only allowed to do 4 events.
Mm-hmm, per meet.
Meet, yep.
So part of the coach's job, I imagine, is to make sure he's putting each athlete giving them the best chance to succeed, but also, making sure that everything's filled out for their team as well.
Yes, because you have some athletes that can do it all.
Right.
You got I got one athlete that can high jump, he can long jump, he's a great sprinter. Mm-hmm. So where do you put him?
And who would this be, by the way?
Well, Braylon Adamas.
Okay, we know him from football. Yeah, we want to hear about some of these players, athletes. I call them now players. Yeah. And we hope to have them on in 3 weeks, but we're going to kind of set the scene now because in Dell City, track is obviously a big deal, as we're learning more about here. Mm-hmm. And on the girls' side, I imagine, and you don't directly coach girls, but I'm sure you work with them some, that they have, they follow in that path as well.
We run with family on our back,
yeah.
And the reason why we run with family on our back is because our coaching staff, that's how we view our athletes as our family. Mm-hmm. And so it doesn't matter whether it's dad or it's mom that's talking to you. You do what mom and dad says, and that's what we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how we do it.
Well, let's look back. We've had 2 meets so far, as you told me here. What have been the highlights we've seen?
The 4x1 is one.
Mm-hmm.
Both times we've stepped out this year. We're struggling in some places, however, for the boys. The girls are young,
right,
but very coachable.
Okay.
And that's something that you don't get in track a lot, because either they're very good and they know more than you, or they want to be good and they listen to what you're saying.
Yeah.
And we have a whole bunch of young ladies that are willing to do it the way we want them to do it. So that's nice.
Okay, so let's start with when you think of track, I think the first event that usually comes to my mind, and maybe others who aren't totally familiar with it, would be the sprinting sports, particularly the 100 meters.
Yes, sir.
So we'll start with that area. So who are the we mentioned one of them, I think, with Braylon Adama.
Braylon is not actually one of my 100 runners.
Okay.
He's on my 4x1.
Right.
But he's not one of my individual 100 runners.
Okay, so who we got there then?
That would be the Field cousins.
Rodney as well? Okay.
Rodney and LaDainian. And then we have Rickland Holmes, actually, as
he came from
third.
wrestling,
Yeah.
so there you go. But I'm sure with him being the athlete he is, he was able to get acclimated very quickly after wrestling season.
He's struggling a little bit right now.
Oh, is? Okay.
But he's coming along.
I have no doubt he will by the time he's done running track at Dell City. Okay, and so do these guys also do the 200?
So they all do the 200 as well. However, they're not my best 200 runners. My best 200 runner is actually a sophomore in Jordan Shaw.
Okay. All right. And then now when you get to the 400, that becomes a little bit more about endurance. What do you look for in a 400-meter runner?
I look for somebody that can actually run a 200.
Okay.
So if you can run a 200, you can run a 4. It's just, for me, it's just gutting it out. But we have a 400 specialist in another. He's another underclassman in the junior. His name is Keelan Carney.
And you know what? His mom used to be a sponsor first semester.
Yes.
So, yes, we love to have him on and get his mom back on in the fold. Very good. And then, so do you look at the same group, the same talent pool there for the 400 then, because you just mentioned 200 as well. And then is it harder to fill out the 4x400 relay?
It is harder to fill out the 4x4 because, when you look at the track and you think about a whole lap, and for us it's a sprint.
Yes.
And we're asking for, these young men to run 49, 48s. Now, a lot of them can't do that. Most of them are running 55, 54s, seconds, that is. And so, but what we would really like to put out there is 448s, 4x4x4.
Right.
Like we did when we won the state title in the 4x4. But it's not easy to get that many bought in that way. So,
well, thing is, that can really drain you for another event. Yeah, I don't know.
It's the last event of the day, so you leave it all on the track.
Right. Okay. And then once you get to the 800, does that become where you start to look at distance runners and then that ability?
So we don't call them distance runners anymore. We call them long sprinters.
Okay.
Because in order for them to be good in that event, they can't be jogging. They have to be running.
Right.
And so they have to be sprinting. So, again, we're asking for, 2 minutes in an 800, which is you can't go out lightly with that. You got to go out hard.
Yeah.
And so it's an actual sprint.
So you got the 800, is it the 16 and the 32? Are those the two other
those are
long sprinters?
Those are long sprinters.
That's some sprinting right there.
Yeah.
And is that do you have any strong, like maybe runners coming from cross country or something like that?
That's something we're still building on.
Still building on, okay. Yeah. And then let's talk about the field part of it. So I'm always interested in these events because it's so different than running, but it's under the same track and field umbrella. And I have seen over the years, I don't know a whole lot about track, but, someone like, I grew up, I'm sure you remember Carl Lewis, and someone who could do both long jump and sprint, and you've already mentioned that with Braylon. Yeah. So we'll start with that then. You have long jump and you have high jump.
Right.
And how different are they, I guess, and how do you go about looking for who fills those spots?
I look for those that if you can dunk,
Okay.
basketball, then I want you to come out and high jump for me.
Well, remember, and you probably remember this. I do, if I'm not mistaken. Keandre Young.
Keandre, yes.
From basketball. No, I don't hear about too many basketball guys going for track. I wish there was more, but he obviously could dunk. He was 6'9". So yeah, there's an example of that.
And he's a state qualifier for us in high jump.
Yeah. So how do you feel about those two spots? I mean, and we've Adama Braylon. How's he doing?
He's leading the state right now in
there we go.
in long jump. Now he won't high jump for me.
Okay.
He could, but then that would take him out of one of the relays, and I don't want to do that.
Right. That's the dilemma you have when you have someone who can do all those sort of things.
Right. But then we have the Graham brothers that transferred in.
Okay. Michael and Michon. There we go.
And Michael can high jump. We have Nick Holmes that came over from Western Heights. He's gone 6 foot. So we have some high jumpers now that I'm working with, and we'll get them up there.
And then you got pole vault. Now that doesn't seem like an appealing sport unless someone's kind of crazy or something. I don't know, but
we actually have kids that would love to pole vault.
Okay.
Unfortunately, at Dale City, we don't have a pole vault pit.
Okay.
So in order for them to pole vault, they have to go hire and buy what you call mat time at another school somewhere.
Okay.
So I was working with Midwest City with Coach Thomas. He was allowing us to come over and pole vault there, but now his pit is not serviceable. So
okay.
it's one of those things, and those
that's
are
something that the fundraiser could go towards. That we're going to talk about.
Those are very, very expensive. So
okay. The thing is, I would be kind of scared to pole vault. Now, the other stuff I couldn't do at all, but the pole vault, if I could do it, would be like, oh, I don't know about this. But is that ever an issue with?
I always have at least 4 or 5 kids, both boys and girls, that want to pole vault.
Okay, very good.
But again,
it's got to find the practice time.
Yeah.
And then very different than running is the shot put and javelin. And so
not javelin.
Oh,
discus.
Discus. Yeah. Javelin's more of an Olympics, but not. Yeah, there's some Olympic track events you don't see in high school.
Exactly.
So discus and shot put, and is do you look for a particular type of athlete there? I would assume someone who's very strong.
Looking for strength, looking for agility. Actually, Daryl Thomas.
Okay, one of your linemen.
One of our best throwers, but our best thrower is Richard. Oh, Lord, I can't pronounce his last name. It's I want to say Castillo. Yeah.
Okay.
So Richard Castillo, he's one of our best throwers. Now another one of our best throwers is sitting over here. That's going to be up for tennis because she's doing both sports. She's doing tennis and track.
Okay, I wondered about that. So you can do track and another.
Yes.
You can't really do that with any other.
We share with tennis and we share with soccer. So.
Okay.
Matter of fact, one of our best female runners, is also playing soccer.
Okay. Wow.
But Annette.
Good for soccer to have her.
Annette Cox is one of the best throwers in the state.
Very good. I can't wait to talk to her about that. And then, any events I haven't mentioned, or you want to highlight? We mentioned the relays, the running, the jumping, the throwing.
You've covered it all.
Okay, so we didn't really talk all about on the girls' side. Mm-hmm. So, what would be the strength there? Is it back to the sprinting or?
Back to the sprinting. We actually have some decent 800 girls. So
good.
Anything from 800 and 800 down for the girls they're going to be in contention.
Okay, and then do you have some girls that have potential in the field events?
Again, Annette
you mentioned
Cox
one of them, yeah.
is one of the best in the state. And then Dorea Collier is.
She played basketball.
She played basketball,
okay.
but she's also Coach Jones' niece. She's going to be contending for the 300 hurdle title, so she's going to be.
Yeah, so those are the Del City athletes I'm familiar with is the football stars, and the basketball, both boys and girls. So you mentioned DeRay. Is there any other girls coming from basketball?
There are. The starting, both the freshman starting guards that.
I'm the one drawing a blank.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
Played a lot of sophomores, but I remember one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, but both of them are out and on our 4x1. So they're.
Was
they're
Thompson? Was it Generica Thompson? Was that?
Generica's one of them. Yes.
Okay, good. And then I'm going to have to look the other one up here in a second. But okay, so one of the interesting things that I learned about track. One year I was a middle school coach, not because I knew anything, but they just needed a coach. You understand how that works. Is that during the season when you practice, you really don't. They really don't do a ton, just as far as reps, because to kind of save energy. That's how it was in middle school back when I did it. Is that pretty much the case with
that
high
is
school?
Not how we do it.
Okay.
Our motto is we work hard in practice so we can have fun at the meet.
Right. Okay.
So we're going to do more in practice than we'll ever do at a meet.
All right, and that's obviously worked so far. So, what are some events you have to look forward to then? Like, what's the next weather permitting? Of course, that's the big theme with spring sports is weather permitting. But what are some upcoming track events you're looking forward to?
Well, we're looking forward to the Northwest Classic Relays, where it's just all relays. And that's where they have the specialty relays, like the distance melody relay and the sprint melody relay. Was where you combine different sprint techniques. So like I think the sprint melody is 1-1-2-4.
Okay.
So you have one runner run 100, another runner run 100, and then the next runner run 200, and the next runner run 4. And so
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, you don't have those at a lot of meets, but at just relay events, that's normally how it is. And so that's this Saturday. We go out and compete with that.
That's where again?
At Northwest Classic.
Northwest Classic. Okay. So that's something people should look forward to on Saturday here. Okay, I think the player that I was trying to think of for on Del City Girls was you mentioned Drea Collier. Oh, Ariana Bryson. She's a freshman.
Yes,
so
yes.
Okay. And boy, did she play hard. So I'm glad to know she's also helping out with track then. Okay, so Northwest Classen, and what's a couple after that? I know at some point you guys will end up at Carl Albert, right?
Yes, we're going to the Carl Albert Invitational, and then the next week after that, we'll be right back at Carl Albert for our conference meet.
Very good. Very good. All right, well, let's go ahead and show Matt the fundraiser card for Del City Track. And it started Monday, so this will go until May 17th, as you can see on there. But and Coach mentioned some things like they could use a pit for pole vault, and I would hope to see that's something they can get. So in the next month and a half, you can support Del City Track by coming to this Buffalo Wild Wings location in Del City. Show them a picture of that card. If you want it download to your phone, just contact us. We'll make sure we get it to you. All right, and Del City Track will receive 10% of the proceeds. Of course, what goes for girls and boys. All right, well, Coach, thank you very much. You said you hope to really have some athletes with you when you come back in 3 weeks.
Yes, sir. I should have 2 boys and 2 girls.
All right, and and I really think it's great that you have these Division I football players like the Fields cousins and then Adama, the great football players, that they could help you in track. And I'm excited to see how they'll do. And hopefully we'll have some state champions we can talk to in May.
I hope so, too.
All right, if not the entire team. All right, well, thanks again to Coach Hooper for his time. Coming up, we're going to talk Del City tennis. So don't go anywhere. You're watching the Mid-Del Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
All right, welcome back to the Mid-Dell Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network, brought to you by, of course, our host, Buffalo Wild Wings in Dell City, and also Toonie Buys Houses. And now we get a chance to talk Dell City tennis with the boys coach, Tyrell Johnson. Coach, great to have you on. Now I've found out that you also are an assistant football coach.
I do not coach football.
Oh, you don't?
I do not.
Oh, that was the other coach, the soccer
Nope,
coach. My mistake.
Not me.
Okay. But either way, you are at Dell City.
Yes.
How did you get to Dell City?
It's actually kind of bizarre. So I was working with troubled youth at this place in Mustang, and I realized I liked kids, but not quite such intense behavioral issues.
You like the more well-behaved kids.
Yes, and so my mom had always told me to teach. My sister had always told me to teach. And so I said, why not? And I'm literally looking at long-term sub positions on LinkedIn, and I ended up, it just says teacher, Mid-Dell schools. And I get a call immediately. She tells me to apply to whatever position. I look up high school math at Dell City High School, get an interview, and Mr. G, our principal, basically hired me on the spot. So, and I ended up being the third person in that classroom that year in October. They had some issues before, and so it was quite I never expected it, but it was definitely something I needed at the time, and I'm very blessed to be at Dell City High School. So
yeah, for sure. Well, and was that which year was that?
That was 2022. So I'm in my second year.
Second full. Okay.
This is my first full year. I started October of 2022.
And how did you get to be the tennis coach?
So I think everyone in Dell City is familiar with the Madonnas, and they left. Coach Madonna took the head football coaching position at Shawnee, and that left tennis position open. I played in high school. They knew I played all the time. I played at Edmond Tennis Center in Edmond, and they asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said yes. I jumped at the opportunity. So.
And this is your first year, not just as head coach, but coaching tennis at Dell City, or were you?
This is my first year coaching tennis.
Okay. And I mean, it's still a big responsibility to be the head coach because you have to oversee so much. What was it? What's it been like? I guess running a program, not just working with players during practice, but all the other stuff.
So actually, running a program is quite difficult, and plus. I wanted to become a well-recognized program. There's a lot of other good schools around that have solid tennis programs and are actually pretty known for it. And so it takes time. Our athletic director, Coach Jones, he told me to not get discouraged after the first year. It takes time to build a program. And so I'm trying to just kind of live in the moment and know that this is year one.
Right.
And it takes a while to build. But we had quite a few people come out this year for tennis and competing at all of our tournaments, and it's been great to see. I'm actually really, really happy with my athletes. So,
what are some big things that, for practice, because that's so important, that you find you have to what's the important thing to do with practice time for these guys?
Working on technicalities. I mean, tennis is such a technical sport. Getting them to hit their forehands, backhands. I mean, serving is probably one of the biggest things in tennis, and it's it'll make or break your matches. So just knowing when to work on technicalities, when to let them just go out and get some, play some games against each other, and then I'll run drills. Coach Sanford will run drills, and so just kind of analyzing everything they do all the time, which takes a lot of mental strength.
Right.
So, and you're constantly wanting to correct every little mistake that they do because you want them to be better. So. Right.
And Coach Sanford's the girls' coach, but I know you two work closely together. Now, what would have been some? How would you say the meets have gone, or what do you ever call matches so far?
So everything we do is a tournament. Basically, we do have some duels and some tries with some other school. Duels just when we go against one other school. Tries, quads, 3 or 4 schools. But we've had our Putnam City North tournament, which was held at OKC Tennis Center. That was our first actual tournament, and we got to pick up some wins there. On the boys' side, the girls actually ended up getting rained out. So
that was last Wednesday, right? Yeah.
So they were actually – the girls were the matches I was watching before it got rained out. They were on their way to some wins. I know that's really good for a lot of our athletes. A lot of our athletes are first-year tennis players and are picking it up. And so I'm really sad the girls didn't get to – do that tournament. I feel like it would have been beneficial before going to – we had our conference tournament this past Monday.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what's some important things to look for in an athlete to be good at tennis? Is it the hand-eye coordination, the footwork?
Hand-eye coordination for sure, speed and agility. Two biggest things. I mean, those balls come flying at you 100 miles an hour. I mean, you got to be able to react quick, move your feet, and hit that ball right back. So those are some of the things I look for. And effort, honestly, and being mentally tough. You cannot play this sport and be mentally weak.
Sure, yeah.
Tennis is probably one of the most mental sports there is to play. It can make or break your matches. And you can see it on the professional level. I mean, you've seen some of the best. I mean, I watched Djokovic in a tournament not too long ago just melt down. And then so much that he's taking time off for his next – he's not playing in the next tournament.
Right.
So it can happen at all levels.
All right. Well, we've talked about you getting the program long enough. Let's go ahead and talk to one of your players here. Who do we got?
We got Javon Cooper right here, one of my top doubles players. So.
Okay. Javon, thank you for coming on. And how long have you been playing tennis?
This is my 3rd year playing.
3rd year?
Yes.
And what grade are you in?
I'm a senior this year.
Senior, okay. What made you decide to go out for tennis as a sophomore?
Honestly, I just wanted to try it out. I've been wrestling for freshman year and sophomore, and then I just wanted to try a sport that I wasn't used to, and that would help me stay in shape for wrestling season.
Does it help you stay in shape?
Yes.
I would think so. And by the way, you remind me of a couple wrestlers with your hair. That color. No, there's a couple of Del City wrestlers that look like that. But anyway, so you stuck with it. What have you liked about tennis?
That is a good question. I just like how it's much more on the technical side.
Yeah.
And not as much on like being physically gifted. It's much more on the technical side. So even someone who's like not as strong or fast as you could still beat you because they're more technical.
Okay, yeah, that's very good. Are you right-handed?
Yes.
Okay. Talk about how you got to be good at doubles and who you partner with.
So for the past 2 years, I partnered with Nate. He was supposed to be here, but he had to walk.
Okay.
And this year, I've been partnering with different people this year. And I like doubles because, honestly, it makes it easier because you're not alone. You have a teammate you can fall back on and someone to have your back.
How often when you play doubles do you talk with your teammate during the match?
Oh, I talk with them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll call out, like, saying, that's you or that's me. I got that, you got that.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever, like, talk before he serves, letting him know what you're going to do, or he's going to let you know what he's going to do when he serves? And what do you think is your best tennis skill, whether it's serving or forehand, backhand, returns? What would you?
Probably returns, being able to return it.
Very good. So I know you go against a good server. That's real important.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have to alternate sides in doubles, like right or left side, or can you stay on one side for a while?
So if you're receiving, you stay on the same side. So, like, if you're on the left side, you stay on the left side the entire game. But if you're serving, then you alternate sides. You serve on the right side, then the left side.
And have you had a good, like, what's been a good memory or two you've had playing tennis for Del City the last 3 years?
I'd say winning some matches at the Suburban Conference last year.
Mm-hmm.
And just the team bonding that we have.
Very good. When it comes to practice, does it get real intense like a match?
Sometimes it does, but other times it doesn't really. But the times that it does, it is more helpful for us, and it's more fun to me because it helps me get ready for the next match I go against.
Yeah, sure. Coach, what do you like about what he brings to the table here?
He brings some leadership that is needed. We have a very, very young team. Mm-hmm. He is my only guy senior. And so the rest of my team are freshmen and sophomores mainly. I have one junior. So definitely some much-needed leadership. And also I use him as an example of playing at the net. A lot of my first years, they don't know how to attack the net, but he's one of the best ones on our team to do so. So he brings a lot to the table, competitive edge, some confidence that I would like to see some of my other players get. But also I think that comes with him wrestling. That's the way you have to be when you wrestle. So
it's a good combination. Do you do anything in the fall or just get ready for wrestling in the fall?
I just get ready for wrestling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard to do two sports. One of them is a winter sport, too, because they overlap with both. So. Yeah. So what are some tournaments you have to look forward to in this next couple weeks?
Next week we have a JV tournament at Putnam City North High School, and then we have a varsity tournament. Moore is hosting the tournament at the Early Wine YMCA is where that's going to be held. So that'll be our last tournament. We'll have a couple duels or tries with some other schools, and then we'll hit regionals towards the end of April, beginning of May. So.
All right, and I'm sorry, one more time, your name was?
Javon.
Javon, okay. My apologies. All right, Javon, what are some things you're looking forward to as far as your competitions go?
I'm just looking forward to getting different looks from all the people. That's what I like, is being able to go out and see how other people play. It was the same way with wrestling, too. I like going out on the mat and seeing other people's style, which is why I fell in love with tennis, because like wrestling, there's no one way to play.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Javon, it was good talking to you about this, and I wish you the best. And we're going to keep Coach on and talk to a couple of his or a couple of the female tennis players here in a bit. But right now, we want to show you this card. So on the screen, and coming up here in a second, is the Del City tennis card. This is good from now until May 17th. This benefits both girls and boys tennis. And you can come to this Del City location at any time and show them this card. You can download it to your phone. If you like how I do that, we'll help you do that. And Del City Tennis will receive 10% of the proceeds. All right, stick around. We're still going to talk Del City Tennis after the break. So we talked to a couple of the girl tennis players. You're watching the Mid-Del Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes, call Rob and Will.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
I want to start a car mechanic shop.
Let's say we go to Scissor Tape.
Ready to go get some coffee?
Yeah, let's go.
You got it.
I think she was from
One,
Rose State.
2, 3.
Woo-hoo!
Congratulations, Rose State college graduates.
All right, welcome back to the Middale Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network. And Coach, we got a couple of the female tennis players. Tell us about them.
So I have Jasmine Thorne and Annette Cox. Annette has been playing some singles this year. She's not really used to that because she played doubles last year.
Mm-hmm.
But we're kind of, switching some things up with the girls. That Coach Sanford is doing. And then Jasmine's been playing doubles this whole season with the freshman Timber.
Very good. So we have Annette and Jasmine. Okay, so let's start with Annette. Annette, and what grade are you in?
I'm a senior.
Senior, okay. So you also do track, apparently, right?
Yes.
How much time do you spend practicing tennis versus track?
I usually go to track on Monday, Wednesdays, and then tennis Tuesday and Thursdays, and then I switch Fridays.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your event in track is the throwing events, right?
Yes.
Do you feel any connection between that and hitting a tennis ball really hard?
Yeah, because I also play volleyball, so
okay.
It all uses the same arm, so I feel like it really helps build the strength and the coordination for playing tennis and volleyball.
Is there any conflict as far as the meets or tournaments? Okay, very good. Well, that's a lot to juggle. But what made you want to play tennis, and how long have you been playing tennis?
I've been playing. This is my second year playing tennis. And
okay.
I started playing actually because of Jasmine. We both were we like volleyball, and we need a sport to do also in the spring, so we decided to do it together.
Okay, and you obviously, so coming back for your second year doing it, what makes you come back to it? What did you enjoy about doing it last year?
I enjoy it just so much. It's a lot like volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
I use my arm a lot, and it keeps me in shape. You have to be fast, and it helps with your hand-eye coordination. And I love playing sports with Jasmine, so all that together.
Well, I know camaraderie is a big deal, too. So, Coach, what was her events? I missed that while I was adjusting my earpiece.
Oh, she's been playing singles. She's been our number one singles player.
Number one.
She's a heavy hitter.
So you see the best that the other team has to offer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, does a lot of responsibility come with that being the number one on the team?
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure, and a lot of people look up to you when you're put as number one, so it comes with a lot of pressure.
All right, but it hasn't gotten to you yet, obviously.
No.
All right, Jasmine, welcome aboard here. Glad you could come on. And what grade are you in?
I'm a senior.
Also a senior, okay. So you, as she mentioned, and as Annette mentioned, you play volleyball as well?
Yes.
Okay, so, I mean, obviously you're very tall. Was there ever any were you ever interested in basketball?
I played basketball in middle school, but
Okay.
I got made fun of for my height, so I quit, and then I joined volleyball.
Being made fun of for your height in basketball doesn't make sense, but hey, whatever. So you're doing volleyball and you're doing tennis. You got a lot going on. What made you decide to go out for tennis?
One of the coaches, Coach Madonna, that was here last year, he was like, "You're really tall. We could use you at the front of the net." And so I started playing. I wasn't really good, but as they started coaching us, it got better, and I was getting stronger hits. And then this year, Coach Johnson and Coach Sanford, they were like, "Hey, this is how we're going to break it down. This is how you're going to play." And, yeah, I practice every day. I'm on the net hitting balls down left and right. So
you can feel you've gotten a lot better in the last year, right?
Yes.
It has to be very rewarding, I would imagine.
yes.
And so you do doubles then?
Yes.
As I'm sure Coach mentioned, but like I said, I had a wardrobe malfunction. So who do you normally pair up with?
I play with Timber. She's a freshman.
Okay. And how's that going? I mean, senior to freshman, normally that there could be a disconnect there. But
I honestly didn't think we would click, but as
Yeah.
soon as they put us together, we clicked on so many levels, just on things we liked, and then we were really good working together. And she's someone that I was like, I really want to play with her. She's really good. I'm good. Like, let's get out on the court. Let's go.
what have been some highlights for you then? Any matches you've had that have been very fun and rewarding?
I would say our last tournament, it was very fun. Me and Timber were like, if we don't get this point, like we can get the next point. It was very fun just being able to hit the balls down because, like, there's no way the other team's going to be able to play them back if I just hit them this way, that way. Just because I'm so tall, I can hit over them. I can hit short.
Yeah, so what is the advantage of being a tall tennis player?
Just being able to hit the balls down because they're.
Okay, yeah, you can
I feel
get
like I'm
that
kind of
downward
like
swing
a threat.
going. Very good. I lost my train of thought here for a second, but how do you feel about your endurance? I mean, do you feel like you're in the best shape you've been in because of all this?
I feel like having a fall sport and then a spring sport, it just keeps
Yeah.
you very in shape.
Right.
And then being able to go out and do something you love with your teammates and people who you connect with on an everyday basis, it just makes it more fun. And you're able to get better every single day with good coaches.
And by the way, I would have to think, just going off of tennis for a second here, if you're playing volleyball with Shelby Thornton, right, those are two formidable players at the net, I would think, right?
Yes.
Okay. Coach, what do you have to look forward to on the girls' side when it comes to tennis?
I'm looking for looking forward to next week's tournament and them getting to outside of conference because these tournaments they end up being like 16 teams, so they'll usually get to play a guaranteed 4 matches. So I'm looking forward to getting to see them, just all their hard work pay off.
Right.
I feel like, especially like these last few weeks, we've really hit our stride in practice, and I mean they're playing so well, and I'm very, very proud of them. I texted Coach Sanford the other day, and I was like, I'm proud of what we're building this year, and I hope that we can lay the groundwork to really, really grow this program over the next few years. So,
well, it's good you have a base of seniors that we're seeing here that can help you with that, for sure.
Yeah, it'll definitely be big shoes to fill next year, for sure. But I've enjoyed being able to coach them, even if it is just for 1 year. But
right.
I've really, really enjoyed it, and they've brought a lot of joy to me as a coach and just to the team in general. So.
And here's a question I forgot. I meant to ask this when Javon was on, but you mentioned Djokovic. Who's like your favorite tennis player? Because you said
my favorite tennis player is Serena Williams. Obviously, she's retired, but I grew up watching Serena. I mean, watching her and her sister play doubles, and then I mean they would meet in the championship game of championship match of Wimbledon. Sometimes I mean,
yeah, it's a lot of work.
I just grew up just so enamored at their style of play. Watching Serena just stay on the back line while the other girls are just going left to right to left. I mean, wearing them out, and she's like hardly breaking a sweat, you know.
For sure.
But Serena Williams is by far will be my favorite tennis player, for sure. So, but active player right now, I like his name's Daniil Medvedev. I like him because he's my height. Tall tennis player.
Yeah.
He's 6'6", and he was like kind of a villain when he first came onto the scene. He was like 19 years old, and he snatched a towel from a towel boy or something, and the crowd booed him, and there was a bunch of drama. But he's a very, very good tennis player. He actually stopped Djokovic from winning all 4 majors 2 years ago. He stopped him at the U.S. Open. He beat him in the U.S. Open. And so ever since then, I've enjoyed watching him. So,
well, I didn't watch a lot of tennis growing up, but my favorite was Andre Agassi.
Okay.
You know, he wasn't as good as Sampras, but he won the Golden Slam, not all in 1 year, but he got the four majors and the Olympic gold medal. So,
gotcha.
So that's what I liked about him. Otherwise, I kind of lost track of tennis when it became clear that none of the Americans were going to be good on the men's side.
I know. That's actually starting to change a little bit here lately. I mean, you got Taylor Fritz. He's pretty good. And then you got Francis Tiafoe. And so I think it's looking up for American tennis right now. Got some good young guys that are definitely going to just get better as time goes on. So.
Yeah, for sure. Nat, do you watch tennis any on the tube, or is it maybe on your phone now, or a computer? But do you ever watch one of the Grand Slams?
Yeah, I watch like when I'm on TikTok.
Okay.
I watch videos of like a lot of like high school players, good clips that they've recorded, and it's just it's nice to watch.
Do you have a favorite like professional player, or even won't pay attention to that much?
It's probably Serena Williams.
Okay, well, I mean, she's the GOAT, so
yeah.
Gotta.
I mean, 23 majors in her long career, so.
Yeah, I did it for a long time. What about you? Do you have a favorite?
My favorite's also Serena.
Serena, okay. Javon, you're not on the air right now, but I meant to ask you, do you have a favorite tennis player you watch? I couldn't catch what he said.
He said he does not.
Okay. So it was all right that I forgot to ask.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
He just plays. He doesn't watch. He doesn't care about anyone else.
I understand. All right, well, ladies, thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate that you gave us the chance to shine the light on Del City Tennis. I also learned, Annette, that you can do track and other sports because sometimes I don't know of too many other sports where you can do both at the same time.
Annette needs to tell you everything she does. She does a
volleyball
lot.
Too.
You do what?
Club volleyball. So I do track, club volleyball, and tennis all at the same time.
At the same time. So club volleyball is going on right now. And,
yeah.
Okay. Do you ever get tired?
Yeah, but I like doing it all. So I like staying active.
Well, listen, you need to make sure you eat enough protein.
Yeah. So
you should order something from here. And Coach has the fundraiser card on his phone, right?
Yes.
For Del City Tennis, but hopefully we'll have something for volleyball next fall. But tennis for right now. And let's go ahead and show that card one last time. So you can support Del City Tennis again between now and May 17th. And you show them this card at this Buffalo Wild Wings location. Del City Tennis will receive 10% of the proceeds. All right, Coach, thanks again. We appreciate you doing a double shift. And, real quick, Coach Sanford, what can you ladies say about her? Because she wasn't able to come on, but she made sure you guys were able to come. She sent us some, or she talked about having you come on. So,
Coach Sanford, she's a really good coach. She doesn't just make sure that you're a good player, but she makes sure that you're mentally okay, and she's a really good person just to talk to if you just need somebody to talk to.
She's kind of like a second mom to everybody. She's super sweet.
Oh.
She makes sure that you're understanding your sport. You can ask a question and not be afraid to ask it. She's just all around a great person.
And I was forgetting, okay, man, I'm sorry I forgot. We have some pictures that she sent us. So, Coach, can you tell us, this is kind of hard to see, can you tell who that is?
That looks like Paris.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what does she do?
She is our number 2 singles player right now.
So then, Annette, you probably go against Paris a bit in practice?
Yeah.
There you go. You got to have good competition in practice. Let's see the next one.
That is Timber, and that looks like that was from they had a duel last Friday at Midwest City High School.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I guess it was a try. It was Midwest City Harding Charter Prep.
Yes, I remember talking to the Midwest City coach last week about that.
Right.
How'd that go?
They can tell you I wasn't there.
Okay. Okay, it was for the girls, yes.
Yeah, it was just for the girls. But I know they beat Harding Charter Prep. I do know that. So.
And this is
that is
team
when
picture?
we got snowed, rained, and sleeted out at the Putnam City North tournament last Wednesday.
Just a week ago.
Yes.
There was some snow in Oklahoma.
So, yeah, odd, very, very odd circumstances. Jasmine and Timber were in the middle of their doubles match, and then it just started falling from the sky, and it was just the most bizarre thing I've ever experienced.
Jasmine, that had to be a bummer, right? Well,
everybody was just like, "Oh my God, snow!" And we all
freaking
just
out.
ran off. Yeah.
What was the time of year? It was late March.
Right.
Normally you don't see that. All right. Well, one more time, Annette, Jasmine, thank you very much. Coach, thank you very much. We'll be back with more on the Oklahoma Sports Report. Don't go anywhere.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Red Plains Plumbing has been offering reliable commercial and residential services to the OKC metro area for over a decade. From new construction and remodeling to residential repair, they can handle jobs of all sizes. When you need a trusted name in plumbing, it's Red Plains Plumbing. Family owned and operated. Phone 405-769-1922. That's 405-769-1922.
What business do you want to start?
I want to start a car mechanic shop.
Let's say we go to Scissor Tape.
Ready to go get some coffee?
Yeah, let's go.
You got it.
I think she was from
1,
Rose State.
2, 3.
Woohoo!
Congratulations, Rose State college graduates.
All right, I want to thank all the coaches who came on for Del City Track and Del City Tennis, and the Del City Tennis players we got to talk to as well. We will hope to talk more Del City Spring Sports 3 weeks from today, April 24th. We hope to have on baseball, but Coach McGuire and the baseball team, they're actually playing today, as is the other Mid-Del baseball teams, because of weather-related cancellations on Monday. And that's always something we have to take into consideration during the spring season, as you will have more sports going on Wednesdays, and that could be a factor. Next week, we're expected to have some tough weather Tuesday or Wednesday, so we hope to have on Carl Albert spring sport teams, and that can include baseball, but they may have a game moved to Wednesday, and we'll see what effect that has on other sports as well. But Carl Albert, who's who we hope to have on next week, then back to Midwest City, then back to Del City the week after that. And then we'll start to wrap things up with Carl Albert and maybe talk to some state contenders and then some state champions. And then that's it. The school year will be over with. But we are looking forward to what we have coming up. And our next broadcast of a live sporting event for Mid-Del, we hope to have on, weather permitting, of course. I think the weather will be good for this. A huge district matchup for the Midwest City Bombers in baseball when they host Duncan Monday the 8th. So hopefully you can watch that game or go to that game live or watch the game on your phone, computer, or on the some type of TV that lets you watch the Oklahoma Sports Network, whether it's Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV. And then come here and watch the national championship game in men's basketball. So that sounds like a good plan for Monday, April 8th. That's when we have on Midwest City taking on Duncan. And then on Wednesday the 10th, we will be back with the Mid-Del Sports Report talking Carl Albert spring sports. We want to again thank everyone who's participated and everyone behind the scenes, including producer Matthew and production assistants Amaya and Alicia. We appreciate all three of them for their help. That's, of course, Matthew Batista, Alicia Wooden, and Amaya Robinson. All right. We thank you again for tuning in. Again, you've been watching the Mid-Del Sports Report on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.